Um, yes. How am I going to do this? Okay. I want to talk about something that I would call like the void of scarcity. It is when in your life you drop the resistance to everything that you fear is going to happen, and you're doing everything in your power for it to not happen. So in different aspects of your life, you're doing certain things in order for your life to not collapse. Okay? So for example, you're going to that job that you don't like because you don't want to go through a shitty financial situation and be on the street. You're hanging out with all these people you don't want to hang out with anymore because you fear that you're gonna be alone and you're gonna have no friends, and it's gonna be like you're just gonna, you don't want to go through that thing of like being alone and being judged by everyone because you have no friends. What else is there? You're not telling everything about you, showing your true self to people and your parents, kind of the same, because you think that everyone is going to like judge you, think that you're crazy, everyone is going to reject you and you're gonna feel terrible, and this is gonna be the end of you. And so what I want to say is like, it is kind of a thing that I've done my whole life, which was in all these different aspects of my life, I always resisted something from collapsing. I always tried to avoid some sort of situation that I thought would be unbearable. And like what I like, basically I stopped doing that. I stopped resisting things from happening in my life. And now what I'm doing is I'm letting life through in all the different aspects of my life. And I am not resisting anything. So I'm not forcing myself to like see certain people, to say certain things, to be a certain way anymore, to do certain things. I've let it like all go in all aspects of my life. Family, like social life in general, you know, friends, financial situation, career, even health. Like I have stopped trying to control things in all of these aspects of my life, because I realized after I've been into personal development since I'm 21, so for like 4 years. And what I was trying to do was to kind of like manipulate, you know, my life, to kind of like shape it so that it would suit me and I would finally be happy. And after like these 4 years of trying hard, of doing a whole lot of things, of like working on my diet, working on my health, working on like relationships, you know, like talking to women on the street or whatever, or trying to make friends. What else was there? Like trying to make a YouTube channel, like meditating, using the law of attraction, visualizing. What else? I don't know, like so many things I did. At a certain point, I realized that, and this is kind of crazy, like none of it like really truly worked. None of these techniques or methods or whatever. And And so all these things like helped me to kind of improve a little bit in my life, be a little bit like less miserable, more confident, and they gave me a taste of what it is like to grow, to become a different human being, to transform. But still, at the core of my life, I really felt like there was, I was missing the, like, I was missing like the core of what I wanted to change. I was missing, I was truly like completely, yeah, like just missing, you know, the core thing that I wanted to change in my life, which was maybe like what I could say my career, but basically it was more true fulfillment in the moment in my daily life, and like kind of a true connection to life. That's what I wanted. That's what everyone wants. It's like true connection to life and to yourself, and to kind of feel like that, that thing when, you know, you're like, I don't know how to call this, but it's like, it's a place or a feeling or whatever of relief, of like, shit, I finally made it. I finally made it. I'm finally there, you know, where I've been trying to go for all these fucking years. I did all these things, and now I reached my goal, basically. And like, not just one goal, but my biggest goal, which is to be happy. And I realized, after doing all these things like for years, which is a lot, that I was nowhere near that place. And so I started asking myself, well, what's the point of doing all these things if they work a little bit? But if I'm really honest with myself, did they truly change my life? Like, maybe compared to who I was before, yes, I tried to convince myself, you know, yes, I changed a lot, and I'm way more happy now and all this stuff. And I tried to convince myself that, like, I was on the right path. But deep down, you know, when you're trying to convince yourself, it means that you're not there yet, and you're basically like not truly kind of on your path, you know. And so I at a certain point, basically I got like so frustrated of trying to control things and of trying to create the life that I wanted, and it didn't work. And I was finding myself like doing many things that I didn't feel like inspired me, and that didn't work anyways. That after a time, I kind of like stopped acting out of lack, you know, taking action in order to, and I didn't realize that at the time, but I was only doing all these things, all this personal development in order to like escape something, and not in order to create something who came from a positive emotion, from something positive. And at the time I didn't know that, and now I know. And so practically speaking, I stopped trying to use the law of attraction to change my life like in the way I used to do. So I stopped trying to visualize, because I had always tried to visualize like the life I wanted, and I was trying so hard to change my life by using visualization, and it didn't work. It didn't change a thing. And it felt like shit whenever I was visualizing something. It was like so tedious, and And I wanted it to work, and I truly like believe that the law of attraction was a thing. And I know it is, but this wasn't my way. And I also stopped like trying to work on my health like crazy, because I had these physical problems and always tried to fix them with diet, with going vegan, doing detox a little bit, you know, here and there, eating smoothies in the morning. And I stopped all of that at a certain point because it didn't work. I felt like shit eating smoothies in the morning and being a vegan. I felt like real shit. And I tried to convince myself, oh, this is so healthy, but it didn't work. I also stopped like seeing friends that I had since years, and stopped like trying to, I don't know, force myself to see them, I'd say. And I just let it go. And I was like, okay, I guess like we're not friends anymore. And I told them. And still in contact with like all my former friends, actually. Still talk to them. But they're no longer my friends, really. They're just like people I like, but they're not my friends. And I gotta be honest about that, you know. This is like the hard truth that I didn't want to hear, and that they probably didn't want to hear either. But like when I say that, I feel like this is the truth, you know. And this is, in life, generally speaking, like the truth, and what feels good, what gives you this relief, is what you actually fear of like facing and looking in the eye. Because truth is hard to face and hard to speak. Otherwise, everyone would be truthful and authentic. And so like that's like the price to pay in order for the reward. This is like one example. And so I stopped doing many things, and I decided that I would just follow my intuition and do what I like in the moment. And I also quit my job, and I decided I would just like go all in and do only what I like, only what I feel inspired to do in the moment, and only what feels good. And when I say what feels good, I don't just mean like pleasure. I also mean like facing fears and doing things that I know in the long run are gonna pay off. But not because of an outer result, but more because of an inner result. So let's say like the difference is like I used to visualize even though I didn't like it, but it wasn't the same. And so basically like in the moment, I didn't want to visualize like, you know, my dream life basically. So it didn't feel good. And on the other hand, there's like facing my fears now. In the moment, it doesn't feel good either. But there's a difference between these two. So the visualization, I did it because I thought it would get me out of my then life that I didn't like. And I didn't do this thing like for the process of it, or I don't know how to explain, you know? And now, today, when I face a fear, I don't like it in the moment, but I don't do it in order to escape anything. I don't do it for a result. I still don't like it, but I am doing it for transformation and for, in order to embody the person I want to become right now. And so there's kind of like a big difference that I'm going to try to explain. And so the difference is probably like in the energy. One comes from an energy of lack. The other one comes from an energy of abundance. So one comes from resistance to your present life. And the other one comes more from a mentality of, I don't give a shit what's happening right now. And I don't give a shit about what's going to happen. I'm going to do that. Not because it's going to be like super like pleasure and all pleasurable, and not because it's gonna get me a result, and just because actually, like, I know this is who I want to be. This is the difference. This is how I could explain it. So I started to stop doing all these things for like all these reasons that were just actually ways to escape the life I had, which I hated, okay? And to avoid scenarios in different aspects of my life that I really didn't want to experience and go through. Having no money, having no friends, like not being healthy and not doing anything about it. I was really scared of that one. So this like started maybe 1 year ago in my life, and the last month I really like increased the pace, I'd said, and went all in when I quit my job. And right now, and this is like kind of the point of my video actually, I'm at a place where I went through, I'd say, the collapse of all the old structures that I had in my life, in those different areas of my life. And I'm kind of in something that feels like a void. And it kind of feels like that I destroyed my old life and now there's no new life to replace it. And I'm just here right now. I still have no friends. I'm still not that healthy either. I still have no career path at all. I still have no purpose. I have no money. But emotionally speaking, I went through the resistance phase to all of these things that I mentioned. So right now, I am emotionally, I'd say, mostly okay where I'm at in life. I'm okay with having no money. I'm okay with having no friends. I'm okay with having no career path. Right now, also in my life, I have like these physical weird symptoms in my body that I think are linked to like the shift in energy on the earth that's happening. Earth energy is shifting. Like there's this new age thing that is called ascension, and that says like that the whole earth is vibrationally shifting from one density into another. What it actually means is like consciousness of beings and of earth is like raising, and so all the shit that everyone has stuffed down in themselves comes to the surface, and our physical bodies react to that. And so they have a lot to deal with. And what I go through physically right now is like that I'm not hungry. I need to sleep a lot. I want to sleep like during the day and not at night, like an owl. And I need to sleep a lot, to nap. And physically speaking, I don't feel like doing any physical exercise at all. And when I try, it's I better not try, because my body reacts like, oh no, don't do this shit. And so this is an example of like what I'm physically going through. And so basically I arrived at the lowest point in every area of my life. I arrived at the void. I arrived at what I tried to avoid through my different techniques, you know, back a few years ago in my life. So I'm there. I'm in the void. I'm in the rut, but not emotionally speaking anymore. Emotionally speaking, I was in this rut already before. Now I'm in the rut physically speaking, and emotionally speaking, I've kind of purged a lot of all the attachments and negative emotions that I had concerning my old life. And I believe that this is kind of like something, I don't know how it's gonna last, how long it's gonna last in my life, but it's kind of like the end phase of a cycle in my life that was like a cycle of purging negative emotions and also a cycle of misalignment in all these areas of my life. And that's now, what's now going to happen is that I'm gonna rebuild everything, every aspect of my life, like new social, like relationships, like health. I'm gonna try to improve my health. I'm gonna work on making videos, on creating income, maybe, you know. But the difference is that now my energy is going to be positive. I'm going to do all these things not because I think I need them, but because it feels good. Only for that, not for any result, because I have experienced the absence of those results, and I have come to terms with not trying to get these results and to be happy without the results. And so if you truly want to succeed in your life, I believe, even though I'm not I haven't gone through the whole process, I believe that you have to stop resisting what life is kind of like, you know, like putting in front of your face, you know, that you're fearing so much. You have to stop resisting that and letting it happen. If like you really feel that there's like that, somehow you feel you have to go through it, you know, you have to go through, like you're like on a plane, you have to go through the storm, you have to go through the cloud, and you pass the cloud, and then all of a sudden it's just like blue sky, no clouds, no wind, no thunder, and you're passed through it and you're transformed, and now you see everything. This is kind of what it feels like. And so you have to let life guide you and transform you and sculpt you in order for you to become the person that will be able to create the life that you want. Okay? And so where I think that a lot of personal development and improvement and spirituality is bullshit is when they don't address that, and when they're helping you to avoid shit from happening in your life, and the old like things that are not you, and also all the emotional baggage that you have, who like kind of help you to not face that. So everything that you're gonna try that doesn't lead you through the shit, but that kind of helps you avoiding the shit, and really these like shitty situations. I'm not only talking about one fear. I'm talking about like true, complete collapse in different areas of your life, you know, and hitting rock bottom and then starting again. That's what I'm talking about. If you only just do things in order to avoid that, you're not gonna be successful in life. And even if you are successful, you're not gonna be happy, because you're always gonna feel the pressure of that potential thing happening to you. And the most beautiful thing in life is to realize that what you fear is actually like nothing and is not to be feared at all. And then you can go on and do stuff and be happy. But before that, no, before that, you're only trying to like rearrange the chairs on the deck of the Titanic, basically. I love that expression. And you're in a fucking Titanic, and you know it deep down. And you're just trying to like, you're sitting on this Titanic deck, you know, you're playing chess, you're trying to beat someone, And in the end, I mean, everything is just like gonna go to shit, and everything you're doing, it's not worth anything. And so that's what I'm going through right now. I'm in the valley, in the death valley, and Sierra de la Muerte, and I feel like this is the end of the tunnel, and I'm kind of like going to rise like a phoenix now. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I still need to experience shit in different areas of my life to strip all the negative beliefs and emotions I still have before I feel like rebuilding all those and relifting all those areas. So this is what I wanted to talk about. I'm happy I did it, because first, like, I tried to make this video a first time and I didn't know what I actually wanted to express. So, stop resisting things in all the areas of your life. The key to success is not any technique, any method, any product. It is to transform yourself through going through the stuff that you don't want to go through, and through becoming the person that you would admire, and not through achieving the results, other results that you want. The most satisfying thing in life is to become someone who you truly admire. And I don't think there's anything else to like true happiness besides enlightenment, maybe. And as long as you think that results are going to make you happy, you're not gonna be happy. The only thing that makes me happy is to become the person I know I want to be. And until that happens, and that only happens when I drop the resistance and face the shit, I'm not happy, and I know it. And if you go through like that sort of cycle in one aspect of your life, it's gonna help you to have an overview of what it looks like and how it can play out in other aspects of your life. But truly, I think that if you want success, if you want to stop fucking struggling, to stop using and trying out things that don't work, this is it. You don't need to buy stuff. You don't need to buy products. You don't need to follow a course. What you need to do is to follow your intuition, follow your heart, and go all in. And, well, I think it's a process. I think like I couldn't have done it years ago. I only can do it right now because I have the consciousness level and the tools to like deal with that level of threat. It's not easy. So, yeah. Shit, 28 minutes. That's long. So I'm in the void of scarcity right now, and let's see how I climb out. Let's see how it happens. Thanks for listening.